Panther family, what is going on? Welcome back to another episode of the Iowa State Podcast. I'm your host, Mac, and as always, I'm so excited for the guest I have on today. My guests today are offensive studs from the Panther football team, wide receiver Tailique Williams and running back CJ Beasley. Tailique was the Panthers' second leading receiver last year and is looking to add on to that this year. CJ is a first-year Panther. Boat was an all-Sun Belt player in Conway, and we are so excited to have him down here in Atlanta. I know I thank you guys off air, but I want to thank you guys again for giving me some time during your hectic schedules. With that being said, we will go ahead and get right into it. Sleek, this first question is for you, my man. You went to high school down in Hamilton, Georgia at Harris County High School and helped lead them to back-to-back playoff appearances in your junior and senior years. What does it mean to you to have such a to leave such a winning legacy behind at Harris County, and what would it mean to you to leave the same at Georgia State?
It felt good to leave a winning seasons back at Harris County because it took some years. Like we won in 2012, 2013, but we didn't really make the playoffs again until my senior year. So it felt real good, and they loved me a lot back there, and I loved them. So it felt good.
I love it. I love it, man. I don't know if you're 21 yet, but now you don't have to buy a beer when you're in Harris County, right?
Yeah, I'm past 20. I'm 22.
All right. I love it. All right, cool. CJ, this next question is for you. Kind of the same thing. You went to high school up in Norfolk, Virginia, at Maury High School, and helped lead them to their first state championship since 1939.
Yeah.
At your senior year, after years of knocking on the door throughout high school. So all these years later, I got to know, man, what does it mean to you to have accomplished that at your high school after so many years of getting so close?
It means a lot. Like that's what you want going through high school, or you just want to leave like some type of legacy. And for us to do that, it was amazing. Like it was a rough patch my freshman year, sophomore year. My sophomore year, we had got like a new coach, so we had to believe in his process that we was going to get to where we was going, and he did what he said he was going to do. We got to the playoffs, but got knocked off first round. And then my junior year, we got to the state semifinals, and we took a big L. So after that, we knew like we had to get back. Like it was going to be that year. It was all about getting that ring. So it felt real good to leave a legacy and to know that we're up on that poster, and not many people could say that. So yeah.
Oh yeah, man. Hey, I love it. Hey, 1939, man. That's a long time ago. So you guys definitely accomplished something that is meant a lot to a lot of people. So, I mean, I know it's probably a little bit obvious, man. But what would it mean to you to be able to do something like that at Georgia State?
It didn't mean everything. Like honestly, especially me being a transfer and all, they took me in. I played these boys my years at Coastal. It was a dog fight. But like to leave a legacy here, to actually start a new program, especially like with the new coaches, to leave a legacy, be that first team to do it, to mean everything. You're the first to do it, so it's always best to be the first.
I love it, man. I'm glad you mentioned those games against Georgia State where you got Coastal. I got some questions about that later. We'll be getting into that. Don't worry. All right, cool. So Tailique, this question is back up to you, my man. You were a 3-star recruit coming out of high school, and according to 24/7 Sports, were only offered by Georgia State. I couldn't see anywhere where it said that you were offered by another school. So explain how the recruiting process and decision to come to Georgia State worked, and how much did it mean to you to get that Georgia State offer?
Well, actually, I had like 18, 19 offers. I just went on no visits. I didn't
Gotcha. Okay.
Until after I committed to Georgia State. But Georgia State, when they first offered me, it's just the love they showed, hearing from them every day, coaches checking on me every day, seeing that from a coach who doesn't really know much about me. It kind of made me feel like at home. Now I feel like that was the right decision. Plus, being close to home, we gave it another bonus on why I chose there.
Okay. So with the only taking a visit to Georgia State, you took that first visit and you were like, all right, man, this is it. This is where I need to be.
Yeah, that first visit did. Like, I fell in love as soon as I came up here, and I already had Jamari Thrash. He was my homeboy in high school, so him just bringing me in, telling me how it was like, yeah, I could fit right in right here. So,
oh yeah,
Georgia State.
I love it. And hey, man, you got to listen to a guy like Jamari.
Yeah,
dude's about to be a breakout star in the NFL, guaranteed. Guarantee it. Like I said, guest star. There we go. Hey there. Awesome. So moving on to UCJ. Same thing. You were a three-star recruit coming out of high school and had, several P4 schools offers. Even of initially committing to Virginia Tech. However, you ended up in the glorious Sun Belt at Coastal Carolina. What did the decision-making process behind that look like? And did the rising performance of the Sun Belt in the sport of football kind of, lay into the decision at all?
It was kind of forced. I'm not even gonna lie. I did feel like Virginia Tech was the spot for me, but they got pulled. They pulled my offers for certain reasons, thinking I wouldn't gain weight in enough time. Just simple stuff. But I took that as a sign, and another sign was that Coastal went to my house all the way in Florida to basically beg my parents to come. So I seen that they really wanted me, and I was like, all right, and it's still kind of close to Florida. It's in between Florida and Virginia, so I can go up and down if I wanted to. So I was like, Coastal's going to be it. And when I went there, I was blessed to be on an undefeated team. Like, I went from one winning team to another. So as we started rising, it was like everything was working out how it was supposed to. So I feel like I ended up making the right decision. And I had already took like a little visit to Coastal, so I seen what it was about. So I wasn't going in there kind of blind. So it was like, it was just a really like a true leap of faith, and it turned out perfect.
I love it, man. I love it. No, man, you're right. All things happen for a reason, and we wish you could have come to Atlanta right away out of high school, but going to Coastal, you got exposed to Georgia State, and now you made your way down here. So
yeah,
it all happens for a reason, man. Cool. All right, Tailique, this question back up to you. You redshirted your freshman year in 2020 and saw some limited action in 2021. However, that limited action did include a 66-yard touchdown against App State. The game was already decided at that point, but I got to know, man, how good did it feel to haul that in, and what was going through your mind as you were running into the end zone?
It caught me by surprise. Going in, we were already losing. I want to say like 35-0. I didn't think we were going to throw the ball. I thought we were going to straight run the clock out, just try to get the game over. But when they called the play they called, I knew it was coming to me, and it felt good. Like, especially having the only touchdown that game, it made me feel a certain type of way. Like, maybe I can open some eyes and, start seeing the field. So it was special. It was real special for me.
Oh, yeah. No, man. I mean, I remember when it happened. Like I said, you kind of nailed it. The score was, we don't even need to look back at it. It wasn't too close, but I don't even think Darren started the game, and Darren came in.
I was his first touchdown at Georgia State. So that was, we kind of clicked in.
Yep. So no, man, it's a memory that I think a lot of Georgia State fans have. So that's awesome, man. All right, cool. So again, moving down to UCJ. To no surprise, you excelled at Coastal, being named to an All Sun Belt team in 2022. However, in back-to-back seasons, your best games on the ground came against the Panthers. And I looked that up and confirmed it. So what was it, man? Was it being in Atlanta? Was it the blue and white? Maybe the train horn? What do you think was the reason you always performed so well against Georgia State?
I don't know, man. I think this is how it played out. It wasn't nothing personal against them. We prepared for the game, and it just turned out I had a hot hand against them.
No, I love it, man. I think it's hilarious how that works out, that your two best games, rushing each season, are at the school you're at now, right? So
that could be another sign. You never know. So
hey, that's how I took it, man. I was like, all right, I like this. I was like, you put CJ Beasley rushing and Georgia State in the same sentence, and you got a good game. So I love it. All right, cool. Moving back up to you, Tailique. You had some older guys ahead of you on the depth chart in 2022, and again saw some limited action due to it. However, in 2023, you rose to the top of the depth chart and became the Panthers' second leading receiver with 615 yards and 6 touchdowns. I got to know, man, what did it feel like to finally break through like that? And what did the offseason preparation look like?
That was probably my hardest work in offseason. I was doing a lot of offseason training because I knew that year would be the year. And I felt like I had to open a lot of eyes. So like my whole preparation from off season to that season, it was just I turned it up a notch. Like I went to another gear, and I really locked in because I knew what I could do, and I just wanted to show everybody else what I could do, and it worked out pretty well for me.
Oh yeah, I'd say so, man. I'd say so. No, and that's I'm glad that was the answer because the question about the offseason preparation, I was like, I guarantee you, man, he put in so much work in that offseason, and that's why, sure enough, man, had a career year, and I know you're gonna have an even bigger year this year. I'm excited to see it, man. Um, awesome. So again, moving down to you, CJ. You now join a Georgia State program. Even if it is positive, it's undoubtedly in a transition year. However, the running back room may be the most talented and deepest the program has ever seen. What is it like being in a room with so many talented guys, and how are you each making each other better each day?
It's a great room. Probably like one of the best running back rooms I've been in. But it keeps you on your toes. Everybody's fighting for position. We got internal competition. It's not to the point like where we're mad at each other, but hey, we still support each other. Like if somebody have a good run, we're like, good job, bro. We encouraging each other to keep it up. But it's also it's internal. But you still want to be the number one. Somebody has to be the number one. So everybody's always working, putting in their work to try and be number one. It depends it could be off the field, on the field, in the meeting room, in the weight room, just a little thing. So we do, all of us, each and every one of us do like little things that separate us. So it's always internal competition. It's good competition. So.
Oh yeah, man. No, it's that famous saying, the iron sharpens iron. And, when you got as many talented guys, like you said, you there's going to be one starter. There's going to be one guy who gets the majority of the snaps.
Yeah.
When as many talented guys are vying for that, I mean, hey, dude, as an outsider looking in, it's like, I know you guys are all fighting for it and there may be some stress, but nothing but, satisfaction on the outsider's perspective. We're like, all right, man, whoever is toting the rock is going to be somebody that could easily take it 40 yards. Like, I mean, Savion, what was that? The third play of the season, took it 40 yards down the sideline, so it's an exciting running back room for sure.
Appreciate that.
Cool. Well, moving back up to you, Tailique. Speaking of 2023, you had your best game against Marshall when you had 6 catches for 129 yards and a 74-yard touchdown. Was there anything different you did that morning or the night before that helped you have such an incredible day? And also, second part of this question, would you consider your game against Charlotte better? Because when I was looking at all the stats, I mean, they were basically the exact same game. I think the really only difference was that in the Charlotte game, you had 5 catches as opposed to 6. So,
yeah.
So what'd you do different before those 2 games?
I really didn't do nothing different. It's, some games you're going to have more targets. Some games you'll have more opportunities to make certain type of plays. And those games, when my number was called, I feel like I just made the plays that need to be made. And it just worked out very well for me. Like Marshall game, I can't say I was a little more excited for that game. Like, I don't know why. It was a big week. Coach was, talking big about their nickel who was going to be guarding me all week. So I kind of took that game personal. Like, everybody's saying he better than me. So I'm gonna go out there and show him, how good I really am. So every time I touched the ball, I was thinking touchdown. So I guess it just, I made the plays that came to me when my number was called.
I love it, man. I love it. So like I said, against Marshall, you had a 74-yarder. Against Charlotte, you had a 78-yarder. Which one of those two, man? Like when you think of like a big play last season, which one comes first to your memory?
It has to be the Marshall one.
The Marshall one? Okay.
The Charlotte game, it was kind of a busted coverage, wide open. Marshall, I caught a slant and just showed my speed and took it out the back door, and I opened a lot of eyes. A lot of people didn't know I was that fast. They was like, yeah, that boy fast. So I'd say the Marshall game was probably my best game, the one I would choose.
Oh yeah, man! You look on the Marshall play. You look like Tyreek Hill out there, man, taking a 12-yard slant, 70 yards down the field, man. It was impressive.
Yeah, and one thing I can't say about that play, I told the coach to call that play.
Okay.
I was like, throw me a slant, coach. And
I like it,
threw
man.
me a slant, and I took it out the back door.
Calling your shot, man. I like it. That's badass, man. I like it. Cool. All right, CJ, moving down to you for this next one. You unfortunately had to miss the first game against Tech due to a hamstring issue. but you did see your fellow running backs average 5.2 yards a carry. How excited are you to get on the field this weekend and get those legs pumping? And how excited are you to be able to run behind an offensive line that can help you put up those kind of numbers?
I mean, any running back would be excited to see that, man. Like, 5 yards for it, like a carry is crazy. So I'm excited, and seeing my boys out there eating, I'm already knowing, like, as soon as I get out there, it'll be even more fun. We all out there eating, going crazy, celebrating, having a good time, just putting up numbers, crazy numbers. So I'm excited. I can't wait.
Oh yeah, man. No, the Georgia State rushing attack, it's always strong, man, and it's not going anywhere this year, that's for sure.
Yeah.
That is for damn sure. Awesome. Tailique, next question is for you. Now going into the 2024 season, you have been named to an all Sun Belt Conference team. What does this honor mean to you, and what are some things you think you will need to do in order to be named first team come the end of the season?
That was a big accomplishment. It made me very happy to know all the work I put in, it paid off. They're realizing the type of player I am, but this season I know now is I have to make all the plays that, the spectacular plays, the plays that separate me and the bigger plays than I made last year so I can get first team. So, this year it's all about going harder, making the impossible plays. So it'll make me a better receiver than some others.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No, I believe it, man. I believe it. Show people that you're more than just a speed receiver. You got the whole package, man. You can run the whole route tree. You can do it all, man. I know we'll see it. I know we'll see it. Um, awesome. So CJ, next question is for you, my man. You come from a program in the Sun Belt with a winning pedigree. It hurts me to say that, but Coastal definitely does have a winning pedigree up there. What are some things you've been able to bring over with you to help yourself and your teammates continue to create the winning pedigree that is being created in Atlanta right now?
Little things like just keeping the energy up. Like, we in practice, some people be down. I'm telling, people to, like, get right. We good. We gonna make it through it. You feel me? Got to bring energy. Got to, like, stay positive. Coach said it. It's like a next play mentality. You might mess up, but it's always the next play. I go off little things like staying behind the line. Like, I love telling people to stay behind the line, because that actually comes into play. People might not think of it, like, okay, it's just a white line, but little stuff like that. Say we have a big play and we get like a flag to somebody, it's like across the line. Just little stuff like that. Brotherhood, like, I came over here, I seen that at my old school, we all had like team bonding and we was close, and that actually comes into play, because if you can trust your brother, you're playing for your brother, your team would be unstoppable. So
I love it, man. I love it. No, you're exactly right, man. You're exactly right. You go to war with your brothers, if it's a bunch of guys you don't know and don't like, you're not gonna go out there and give it your all. So, I love it. I love it, man. All right, so these last two questions for you guys individually, and then like I said, I got a couple of questions for you guys as a group. Tailique, last question for you. Speaking of going into this new year, Georgia State will have first-year head coach at the collegiate level, Del McGee, leading the way this year. You were here last year, obviously. So CJ, I got a question like this for you, but a little different. But Tailique, what are some differences under Coach Del McGee that you've enjoyed most, and which ones do you think have improved your game the most?
With Dale bringing the team together more, like this fall camp, we had guest speakers come talk to us every day, and that was something we didn't do last year. And I felt like that's what we needed. Somebody, different people who've been there, been to the league, people who know a lot about the league, about agencies. So I feel like he's brought in a lot of what we need to know and what it takes to get there than what we did last year previously. And I think that's what's the most I've seen from him as of right now. Other than, like, more discipline, bringing the team together, bonding. Other than that, that's the biggest I've seen. And what was the other question? I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You answered that first one perfectly. Basically, second part of the question is there anything on the field that you've noticed that maybe he's improved you on? Like maybe there's something with, a different route, you're breaking at a different point or something.
Yeah. We're learning more of a route tree with this staff. Like because we're running a whole bunch of staffs in the offense we run. You never know what position you could be in because it's all based off of formation. So I could be at slot this play, but I could also be an outside receiver the next play. So it's about knowing everything, knowing a playbook, because in the NFL, the playbooks are bigger. So knowing the bigger playbook, knowing the better route tree, and the way they're on me at practice. I used to lack some practice habits, but he's not letting me get away with it. He's bringing it out of me every day. Every day that he's making sure I go hard, getting better, knowing like there's something to improve on every day. So that's what I love about him, keeping me on my toes. Like, yeah, I might be good here, but somewhere else I'm not that guy. So you got to keep getting better.
I love it, man. I love it. No, that's definitely something I've learned about Dell and my pressers with him. That man loves practice. He definitely values practice and what it can do for you as a team. So I love to hear that. Love to hear that. All right, CJ, like I said, last question for you individually, and then we'll move on to some group ones. Speaking of changing programs, though, Georgia State has a first-year head coach in Del McGee, a head coach that you didn't originally sign up to play for. You did transfer over to Georgia State when Sean Elliott and his staff were here. So I'm curious, what made you decide to stay at Georgia State, and how much of an influence did Coach McGee have on you doing that? Because there were some players that transferred over, and then when Del McGee got hired, they entered the transfer portal again.
Yeah.
I definitely I had you as the most noteworthy player who ended up staying at Georgia State. So very curious to see what made you decide to do that.
He had a lot to do with it. Obviously, he's a running back coach, so he has a running back background, and came from Georgia. So I feel like he has the utmost experience with higher level football. So I feel like I was just taking a leap of faith, trusting in God. I knew he was going to bring in like some other running backs, so I knew it was going to be some good competition. But I always got confidence in myself, and I feel like whatever it is I do it the best. So that's like, hey, he come in, they come in. I got to do what I got to do to show myself, it proves to everybody, that I'm still that guy. Going to be realistic. But yeah, like his background and the people he was bringing in, they have like a lot of connections with the league too, and his playbook. Like all that is pro style, so it's like I'm getting a head start from some people when I go to the league about learning the playbooks and making the right reads and all that. So
I love it, man. I love it. I gotta ask real quick, Tailique, this question is for you because you were on the team last year, but whether it's on my podcast or an oppressor, I've heard almost every single player mention the idea of having a lot of people with NFL experience, and not even just the experience, but kind of what is necessary to get you guys as players prepared to actually potentially have a career in the NFL. I know for a fact that's not something that Sean, ignored or act like you guys weren't worthy of, but is that emphasis, like is that something that you guys kind of feel like almost a boost of confidence from it, because you're like, hey man, like coach is telling us if we do this right and we perform well and do this outside of the locker room and whatever it may be, like we could be playing on Sundays one day. Like has that kind of given you guys an extra boost of confidence at all?
Oh yeah, of course, because especially like he's big on watching film, something they do in the league, and like CJ said, we're running the pro style offense. Most NFL teams run the same offense we run, so and we can show NFL scouts, oh, we've mastered the pro style offense. That gives us a big head start on what they see in us, along with our skill play. But like it's the little things with Coach Dell, like with the film, he's very big on watching film, getting extra film, because in the league, it's less practice, more film there. So showing us how to watch film, teaching us how to watch film, showing us what it takes, and especially with him coming from Georgia, like he knows how to. He's coming from a winning program, of course, like everybody knows. He knows what it takes. He knows like how to get guys to where they need to be, how they need to practice, how they need to perform, and what it takes in the film room. So, and I feel like when he's talking to the team, everybody like we really lock in and buy in what he's telling us, and it's helping us on the field and not just outside the field.
I love it, man. I love it. Yeah, no, I mean I got that feeling. I think that's one of the more invaluable things that he's added to the program, that just is going to take everyone involved and obviously the program in a whole to a whole nother level. So I'm very excited for that. All right, guys, we will get you out of here on these last two questions. As I said, these are group questions, so feel free to answer in any way you want to. But like I said, these questions are for both you guys. So this first one, I actually asked Harry Bryant and Gavin Pringle last week when they were on. I loved their answers. I'm sure you guys are going to give me pretty similar ones, but we got to hear it. We got to get juiced up. So you guys are picked to finish last in the East by the media this preseason. No outlet really has us winning more than 3 games. So how does hearing this make you and your teammates feel? And what are you guys saying to each other? Like, all right, we got to do this to make sure that, we prove everybody wrong. Because 3 games that's just unacceptable. That ain't going to happen. So
Reaching. Yeah, I mean, it makes, because we all know it all over the locker room, all over the building. We got printed out how they got his rank and where they got his rank. So every day we're making sure everybody sees it. So like when we go out to practice, it's like we're not just going out here to lollygag. We're going out here for a reason. These people think we, only gonna win 3 games. So I feel like we have a lot to prove to a lot of people. But at the same time, a player like me, we don't, and I'm pretty sure a lot of us are like this, like we don't really care what the rankings say. Because at the end of the day, they got to put on their pass just like we do. So time will tell. They gonna get the line up and see us. It's not gonna go how they think. So it's gonna be a good one. I can't wait.
I love it, man. CJ, you got anything to add to that?
Hey, he took the words right out of my mouth, man. At the end of the day, they got to line up and go against us. Like people outside can say all they want to say, but other teams have to play us. So at the end of the day, they got to do what they got to do.
Hey, I was telling Gavin and Harry last week, guys, we were picked to finish last year. We were picked to, win 3 games. We won 7 games in a bowl game last year. And, a lot of people, could make a strong argument that our team is significantly more talented this year, right? And the coaching staff is definitely drastically better. So, yeah, I don't get it, man. I don't get it. Like Gavin said last week, we're Georgia State. We're used to be being picked last, but we just got to keep proving people wrong, man. So I love it. All right, guys. Well, this last question, get you out of here on this one. This is something that I know Coach McGee has implemented in you guys, so you probably have your answers just ready to go. But what are your guys' whys? Why are you guys playing football? Why are you doing this? Tailique, I'll let you start.
For our brothers, we had this thing we call like safe seat, where we just all told our why, and hearing your brother's why, it makes you go harder. Like I'm playing for my brother. I'm not just playing for my goals, which I am, but I'm also playing for my brother. He got goals just like I got goals, and to accomplish them, we got to come together as one, and we got to all do what we coach to do, so we can all accomplish our goals together. So I would say my brothers, my teammates. That's my why.
Love it.
Like he said, man, you got to really see like what people have been through, like why they do what they do. So you're going even harder because you're not just doing it for yourself, you're doing it for him. He's doing it for whatever he has going on, and we're trying to help that out. We're trying to help him accomplish his why too.
I love it, man. So what would you say your why is, CJ?
Mine's my family, 100%. Been through a lot, made a lot of sacrifices for me, and it's like it's kind of like old. Like there's a reason I wear Beasley on the back of my jersey instead of Beasley Jr. I feel like if I put Beasley Jr., I'd be like kind of isolating myself. I mean, granted, I'm not, but I'm playing for more than just myself. I'm playing for my family and my brothers.
I love it, man. I love it.
For sure. Family for sure. Everybody know that though.
Yeah, yeah.
I was about to say, family, yeah, that's definitely the more common answer, but it's that reminder of like, hey man, these guys are out here, busting their tails to, provide a better future for their families and, and put a good name out for their family. Like you said, the Beasley on the back of your name, man, that means a lot. So that's awesome to hear, guys. Well, like I said, I'll let you guys get out of here on that one. Tailique, looks like you may have some daddy duties to do. But yeah, guys, best of luck this weekend against Chattanooga. You never want to, discount an opponent too much, but I'm thinking they should be a little easier than Tech. So hopefully we come away with a big win, and I think we will. So Best of luck, guys. I will see you guys down the road. And as always, go Panthers.
Appreciate you. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Of course, guys.